get ready for an interconference contest here at the American Airlines Arena. Welcome, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to 2K Sports as we get set to bring you some terrific NBA action. Joined in the booth with Greg Anthony and Brent Barry, this is Kevin Harlan. Our sideline reporter, David Aldridge. Dallas right now in the middle of a road trip. The questions are circulating about them right now, starting the season 0-5. Very rough go.
You know, right now, Dallas, they haven't gotten anything to go their way here early on. What do they have to do to turn this thing around?
I don't think there's any one thing that's going to suddenly solve all these problems, but the number one thing is just to relax. They're trying so hard to right the ship, and you can see how much it's affecting their play. You can't be thinking and playing at the same time.
All right, let's set the floor, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. On the court for the Mavericks, they've got Harrison Barnes. Nowitzki is out there with Bogut. Then it's Curry. And it's Matthews in at the shooting guard position. Richardson for three, drills the three-pointer. Richardson's got himself going there, his first points of the game on the deep ball. Both these teams are having a hard time coming up with wins. Brent, can a losing streak like this get in a team's head?
Well, it can get in your head, it can get in your car, it can get into your jeans. It's all over the place, Kevin. So, you know, one good game can turn around a month of your season. One good month can turn around your entire season. We'll see if it starts here tonight.
Here's Winslow. The Mavericks making the shot, and he's off on his first shot of the game.
You know, if you're going to go set a pick, you really have to be committed to it. He simply did not do a good enough job to get his teammate open. As many attempts as you can get in close, those are high percentage.
Here's Richardson. Andrew Bogut making his last shot. Right side a screen. To the inside. Winslow. They get it back. For Dallas, they've gotten their first three shots to go in for to start off this game. Barnes passes to Curry. Bogut with a screen on Richardson. Curry kicks to Nowitzki. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot two.
And Dirk Nowitzki, wow, just continues to climb that all-time scoring list. You know, now he's in the top 10, and you know, I think he could get to the top 5 before it's all said and done. And a lot of times we view greatness based on that window where they're at their very best, but you also can view it when you look at guys who can sustain a level of excellence for a long period of time, and that's what I think really separates Dirk Nowitzki from so many others.
Here's what Miami's going with right now. Derek Williams, he checked in for Luke Babbitt. And it's Johnson in for Waiters. Nowitzki hits them both. And Nowitzki alongside Michael Jordan, Karl Malone, and Kobe Bryant is the only players to score 27,000 points or more with one franchise.
Kevin, you think of the Mavericks, you think of Nowitzki. I mean, the greatest Maverick player ever. He's up there with Hakeem Olajuwon as the two greatest international players in league history.
And the Mavericks with possession here after the Heat pick up two. That's a two from Matthews. And he misses his first shot.
And you know what? That's one of those heat checks if he's taking shots like that.
And even though he's been on a roll tonight, that one was a bit forced.
Now, here's Richardson. He picked up 15 points in their last win against Washington. It's stolen by Bogut. First quarter of basketball, just over 2.5 minutes play. Finney-Smith passes to Gibson. Inside. And Andrew Bogut, the bucket on the assist by Gibson.
And really aggressive inside. Bogut making a strong move.
And here's Richardson. They look to him for part of their offensive attack. Right now, he averages nearly 12 points a game. Here's Whiteside, and it's sent back by Bogut. And that does it for the first quarter. Mavericks lead by 5. And back with the start of the second quarter in just a moment. All right, the second quarter beginning in just a moment. And let's quickly break down the game we've seen here, guys, from the Mavericks.
A lot of tough D being played by them so far. It's been the difference maker.
Very physical, very active. Their defense has all the components needed to get stops.
Mavericks leading by 5. And the Mavericks last season acquiring Wes Matthews, they thought they'd make a huge free agent coup in acquiring center DeAndre Jordan, but he ended up backing out of his verbal agreement and then staying with the LA Clippers.
Yeah, a real gut punch moment for a franchise that had been trying for years to acquire a star center to pair with Dirk Nowitzki. But they recovered nicely with the signing of Zaza Pachulia, who had a huge season for them.
On the court for Dallas here in the second, they've got Curry. Anderson is out there with Harrison Barnes. Then there's Dwight Powell, and it's Gibson in at the point guard position. Now let's go to the sideline and catch up with our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge.
Well, guys, Andrew Bogut is an elite defensive big man. He said, where I affect the game is the little things. Blocking shots, being a good help side guy, communicating, setting good screens, just doing little things that don't show up on the stat sheet. Kevin, when he sees opponents hesitate to go inside, that's when he knows he's doing a good job.
Thanks, D.A. He's a presence. A putback. And that one is off. The Heat go the other way with it. They defeated the Wizards in their last game.
And really the signature of that game was what they were able to do from a defensive standpoint, particularly on the low post.
Yeah, their block numbers in that one really stand out. They weren't giving up any easy buckets inside. It was quite a display of interior defense.
Now here's Gibson. 26 points for him last game against the Magic in Orlando.
And don't forget about his work on the glass. I mean, he contributed in a number of ways. And those are exactly the kinds of plays that can spark a team. Just solid work down in the paint.
Here's Johnson following the score by Dallas. Pass to Waiters. Just 5 on the clock. Let's go. Miami no good on that time either. Well, it was the Dallas Mavericks in their last game, a loss to the Magic in Orlando.
And no matter how well you defend, when you shoot that poorly, it's going to be a very difficult challenge for you to get a win.
Yeah, almost impossible, really. It was one of those games where almost everyone on the roster had that off night, inside and out, ice cold.
On its way from Gibson for 2. Gibson with another miss. The Heat trail by 6. Shot clock and game clock separated by less than 6 seconds. Pass to Johnson. Back to Johnson. Anderson against Waiters. The feed to Johnson. The Heat need to get a shot off. Good ball movement here by Miami. And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Johnson. Three minutes of action so far in the second quarter. Here's Curry with the 3. Sinks it. What range from outside. Wow. Curry's got 5 now. That'll do it for the first half. The Mavericks on top, up by 9. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thanks, Kevin. Harrison, an efficient first half of basketball. What's enabled the team to be so effective?
Just move the ball around. This team, they play extremely hard, so, we're not going to be able to get up and down as we usually do, so it's good for us to practice our half-court games.
Yeah, that's been working too. Thanks very much. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, thank you, David. And folks, don't go away. After the break, we'll see you right back here for the start of quarter number 3.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Ernie Johnson here once again, joined by Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. We welcome you back to the halftime. The first quarter for the Mavericks was fairly even. At the end of one, they were able to end up with a 5-point lead. Shaq, what's your take on Dallas?
Well, I like it, Ernie, because they're just not settling for outside shots. That part of the game is pretty when it's going in. We've seen plenty of teams try that and fail. You got to have a balanced approach. And tonight, they found a ton of success inside. Basketball and championships are won inside out. Trust me, I know what I'm talking about.
And Kenny, what are your thoughts on Miami?
They need to break it down. And I look at the individual areas that they're struggling. Like they're getting pounded. I mean pounded, Ernie, on the boards. That's a hustle stat.
It is just about time now for the third quarter to begin. After the final buzzer sounds, the three of us will still be sitting here talking to you.
Actually, it's 4 people.
And the third quarter about ready to get underway. Every season, Brent, so much exciting young talent always coming into the NBA.
Well, that's what the league is really predicated on, is young drafted players who come in and change the fortunes of a franchise around. I think we're about to see some of that take place in Minnesota with Karl Anthony Towns.
One of my favorite young players, only 1 year at Kentucky.
And another guy who people look at with regards to his position, Kevin, and say they can't quite figure out what it is that he does not do well.
Winslow is out there with Luke Babbitt. Then there's Whiteside, then there's Dion Waiters, and it's Richardson in at the 1 spot. So that's who Eric Spoelstra starts the second half with. The 3 from Barnes, but they get it back. And Whiteside sends it back.
As soon as Whiteside positions himself, he just spikes that one away. It's like he's playing beach volleyball. One thing about the Miami Heat is they always seem to find a veteran willing to come in and play on a bargain contract. I guess it is true that people tend to go towards the warmer weather.
Well, we know Miami's certainly a gorgeous setting. Brent, sand, sun, sea, things you enjoy in California.
Well, speaking of the sun, Kevin, did you see over there on the East Plaza of American Airlines Arena, they put up that sweet solar canopy. So energy efficient, and the Green Week has extended to green years down here in Miami. But Kevin, those things you mentioned sure do make it an attractive destination for the NBA free agents.
Right side a screen. Winslow against Barnes. Shot clock at 6. Shots good by Waiters.
Well, he is 100% built to score. Waiters' idea is when in doubt, shoot, stay in doubt all the time.
Now here's Bogut. Nowitzki inside. The kick out to Barnes. Nowitzki outside. Dallas, no good that time either.
And no connections yet so far, guys. 0 for 3 from the field.
He gets a chance now to catch up with the 4th member of our crew, Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, the Miami Heat is still relevant in the East. The team made some excellent roster moves to bring in new talent after losing LeBron James to Cleveland a couple of years ago. Coach Spoelstra said, how many teams, if you lose the best player in the game, can have a compelling team 13 months later? No, Kevin, in Miami, they don't stay down for long.
Thank you, DA. A championship caliber organization from the top down. Now here's Waiters. Harrison Barnes missing his last shot. Waiters dishes to Babbitt. Richardson kicks to Waiters. It's rebounded by Dallas. Bogut's got his 3rd rebound tonight.
Yeah, just a solid job on the backboard. They are really controlling the inside.
Screen by Bogut. And Matthews kicks to Nowitzki. Trains it from beyond the arc. Nowitzki's got 9 points.
And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
And Miami calls their first time out of the game. And the Heat with some changes. Williams comes in for Luke Babbitt, and it's Tyler Johnson in for Waiters. Here is Whiteside. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. Richardson kicks to Williams. They set the pick. Johnson up top. Whiteside sets the pick for Johnson. And he overshot that one, missing.
The edge on the glass is the difference. It's allowed them to build this lead.
Shot and game clock separated by 5. Wesley Matthews on the wing. Richardson against Gibson. Dishes it to Powell. Shot from 12. And it's Whiteside with the rebound. Williams passes to Richardson. Fires from deep. And that's not going to go. And as we end the third quarter, a double-digit deficit will make it tough to come back. Mavericks lead by 10. And coming up as soon as we return from break, the fourth quarter gets underway. And let's listen to head coach Rick Carlisle review the game plan with his guys.
Keep playing. Take turnovers out of the game, all right? Time, guys. Defense. 1, 2, 3. Defense.
Preaching efficiency, preaching defense. Rick Carlisle right there wants to see no mistakes out there.
Yeah, I mean, protect the basketball. Try not to force anything and just take what the defense gives you.
Well, welcome back as we get set to start the fourth. On the floor for Dallas starting the fourth quarter here. Nowitzki is out there with Bogut. Then it's Matthews. Then it's Curry. And it's Finney-Smith in at the 3, the small forward.
Great job by Whiteside there to get himself to the free throw line so he could knock that one down.
Whiteside. 2.
He's off on the first. No good at the stripe this time. His second misses also.
Nice stroke from the line by Whiteside. You know, he's only going to get better from there with some practice.
Nowitzki a string. Here's Curry. Just 5 to shoot. Dallas needs to get off a shot. Finney-Smith. They grab their own miss. Nowitzki dishes to Matthews. Now Curry. Here's Nowitzki. Babbitt grabs the board.
And no excuse there for missing that one after being freed up by a great pick.
Well, that happens sometimes. The ball just does not go down. But I'll tell you what, he'll take that shot every time.
Now here's Curry following the miss by Hassan Whiteside. Screen by Bogut. Nowitzki draws the double. Back to Curry. And it's good. Assisting on the play was Nowitzki. Curry's got the first field goal of the fourth quarter here for the Mavs. The Heat trail by 13. Here's Whiteside. And the shot counts. He's fouled, and it's a chance for a three-point play. Well, you look around the NBA, so much turnover in the coaching ranks. I think I read that since the end, Brent, of the 2012-13 season, only about 6 or 7 coaches have remained with the same team. It's a tough, tough job.
It's a very difficult business, Kevin, and I think a lot of the younger ownership groups, and we've had a lot of ownership changeover as well,
You sure have.
are not willing to be as patient with the coaching staffs that they put in place, and that doesn't allow guys to develop in the same system over and over. I always think about DeMarcus Cousins in the first few years in Sacramento, seeing 5 or 6 different coaches for him and having to learn a a new way to play. Each time a coach comes in and moving him around the system, it's very hard to find consistency, not only with a team, but with an individual player because of so much changeover.
You sometimes see more patience in other sports. That doesn't seem to be the case in the NBA.
And I think one of the reasons why in the NBA, Kevin, is you know this, 2 or 3 guys can make the difference between a team that's not competitive and then all of a sudden flip the switch to becoming a playoff caliber team. So it has to do with the personnel. In the NBA, players can make all the difference.
Good point. Raiders no luck. If they want to, they can milk the clock just a little bit here.
Yeah, that's the best option.
Nowitzki a string. Curry kicks to Nowitzki. Got a piece of it. Stolen by Raiders. Johnson at the elbow. The putback. Rebounded by Bogut. They're in good position here to ride it out.
Certainly. If they just play smart, this game's over.
And it's good, 2 points.
And this is going to be a fantastic result for them. No win on the road comes easy.
Yeah, their aggressiveness, their execution really silenced a raucous crowd. Love the attitude they came in with here.
.27 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Yep, that one goes in there.
Well, in basketball, chemistry is everything. I'm not sure in chemistry if basketball is everything, but you saw it there on that inbounds play with the connection between those 2 guys.
Now here's Gibson. There's 14 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Back to Curry, all alone. And another basket for Dallas.
And they're not finished just yet. They're going to make sure about this win.
That's the rub. They're leaving nothing to chance here, putting all their energy into this closeout.
Johnson kicks to Johnson. He tries for 3. That shot off. So no problem for Dallas as they get the win. This was a very strong showing for him, Greg. Not necessarily a runaway win, but one they'll feel very good about.
And let's face it, anytime you can go on the road and win in the fashion they did, you have to feel good about it. Really an outstanding effort all the way around.
And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thanks, Kevin. Andrew, we know that you are a defensive presence in the paint, but how do you find balance to also contribute offensively?
Just attack the rim. I think there's a couple of opportunities where I had a chance to attack the rim and get closer to the basket on my post move. So I'm working on it. There's always room to improve.
Well, congratulations on the win, Andrew. Thanks for your time. Back to you, Kevin.
David, thank you as always. Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. For Brett Berry, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan along with our 2K Sports crew. Now time to send you over to the award-winning Ernie Johnson for the postgame show with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Kevin, thank you. Superb. And now let's move on to the presentation of Andrew Bogut.
Well, not much has really been going good for this team lately, so for him to have a game like this is big. They gave him a little bit more responsibility, and boy, did he run with it.
Tonight, Andrew Bogut was doing what he does best, scoring and getting under his opponent's skin and leading his team to victory. He did all the little things that you need to be a championship team. Plenty of offense, timely blocks, key rebounds. He was the guy tonight in the middle.
And that'll do it for this edition of the NBA on 2K Sports. For Kenny Smith, for Shaquille O'Neal, for Kevin Harlan, and for the entire 2K Sports crew, this is Ernie Johnson. I hope you have a wonderful, even beyond wonderful, a spectacular, just great. I mean, see you.
Good night.